There is something about this World War II Jeep that I hate. And it's come to a point where I've got to do something about it. Now, this is going to be a little bit controversial, and I know a lot of you are not going to agree with me on this. But for me, these wheels are awful. It's got Wagoneer, stroke J-series truck, stroke God knows what on the front. On the back, I'm guessing, because it's a shared bolt pattern, they're probably old Ford wheels. And this wide tyre aesthetic on old Jeeps, I'm just not into. It's not for me. I prefer the closer to stock look. And today is the day that I'm going to do something about it. Now, it occurs to me I have an old Wagoneer over there. It is a 1970, I don't know, no idea. But it does have CJ 16 by 4.5 inch steel wheels on it. Now, they would be a lot better on this than these things. And these could go on that, because I don't really care about that at all. I was buying 2 J-series trucks, and the deal was I could buy the trucks as long as I bought that Wagoneer at the same time. And when I got it back, I discovered it had a title in the glove box, and that's cool, and it's got the Buick 350 V8 in it and all. But I have so many Wagoneers, I don't need another one. So if anyone is after a cheap Wagoneer, and you can pull it from the Montana area, you hit me up using the contact link, and I'm sure we'll come to some arrangement. I don't need it in my life anymore. It is going to have these amazing wheels on it, so, but other than that, it is a rusty pile, and I have no idea if the engine is good, bad, or indifferent, so bear that in mind. The very first thing we are going to have to do is jack this up. Nobody actually thought I was going to get a trolley jack and jack this up out here, did they? Nothing that sensible, I'm afraid. With this ground being so sandy, it is really hard to use a lot of jacks. The farm jacks just fall over. This, as crazy as it looks, is about as quick and as safe as it gets for something like this, because I'm going to make sure I'm not underneath it. That doesn't look too bad. A few spider's webs. Not too scary. On to the next. Now onto the driver's side. Fun thing about old Jeeps and a lot of trucks is the driver's side will have left-hand threads on these, and that catches a lot of people out. Where you can always tell is it'll have L stamped into the stud, and a lot of the time there will be a dot on the nut itself. My gun changed direction on me. All right. Brake not connected. Usual collection of spiders. Could be worse. Right. And I got my 4 nuts because one was already missing. I can't even begin to tell you how bored of jacking this thing up I am. This has no marks, so it's probably just lefty-loosey. Okay. Now I am desperately hoping this will fit under here without me having to jack it up more, because, like I say, this is not a good surface to jack stuff up on. Don't you be telling me those, so why not? Because that would be impossible. There we go. Alright, turn this thing down to 1 before I get comments. See, it looks better on there, doesn't it? There's lots of jobs I don't like on cars. Changing tyres is right up there. Really? It's not even on our stands. Why would you do that to me? You're thinking because I'm using a nugger dugger, they're going to be way too tight and they're going to distort the wheels and all that. But that's one of those fancy ones. Lots of different torque settings on it. And it's not actually tight at all. Not that it matters for rolling around, but you never know. Might forget. Alright, one down. I might be biased, but I think that looks a lot better. I know it has a kind of slight gasser stance at the moment, but that I think is going to look so much better all the way around. All my bottle jacks are screw jacks rather than hydraulic, and I've got to tell you, I'm over it. I've been looking at those air jacks where you just have an airbag for times like this, and I think it could happen because I've got a 25-ton screw jack, a 50-ton which is hard to move around, and then I just stole this one out of my 3500 Dodge pickup because I thought it would be a bit easier, and it's clearly rated for the weight, and no, it's not any easier, it's just lighter. If you're at the side of the road and it's saving your butt, fine, but not often the way of working. Oh, you know you want to fit under the wheel arch. You know you do. Spoiler, it doesn't want to fit under the wheel arch. Alright, I have a plan, it's not a very good one. I'm going to take the Schrader valve out, see if I can get it to squish down. I should be fat enough just to squish it. If I'm not, then I'll get a ratchet strap on it. I'll then put the Schrader valve back in. At no point did I think that not being fat enough was going to be on my bingo card for today's problems. Absolutely no different. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. That's awesome. I just... Alright. That right there is this trying to push off the jack. Which is not good. Won't lie, I didn't think that was going to go on there. Not in a million years. And I have cactus in places I don't want cactus. Alright, feels like the correct number of ugga-duggas for that. Yeah, perfect. If I needed that hub to turn, there's no way it'd do it. Because I need it to stay still. It's going to be the freest thing in the entire world. Okay. I can... I was going to say. Alright, let's see what she looks like down on the ground. I have somewhat lost the will with jacking that thing up over there in the sand and the cactus and the who just knows what. So I'm going to raise the back of that up a different way. I've already got a chain over there. I'm going to start something up and just lift it because this isn't fun. Alright, see if my new system is going to speed things up a little bit. It would if it ever gave me the nuts back. Now, is it the nuts or is it the socket? So I've got a snap-on socket this time. See if that's a little bit less frustrating than the hazard fraught ones I tend to use outside. Now, I could be wrong about this, but I have a theory that when they have two sizes that are very close together, some of the cheaper socket manufacturers just make the same socket and write the two different sizes on it when they go between standard and metric. One of these days, if I decide to be less lazy, I will measure some and find out. These are going to be left-hand thread. Key. They're square, don't roll very well. Alright, we are going to be playing beat the clock a little bit here because this is a 1960 Massey Ferguson 65 industrial, and it does leak down a good bit quicker than my excavator. Right. But part of this calculation was the fact that lifting it like this will make the suspension sag, so I've got a better chance of getting these stupid tyres underneath it, and I won't have to fight it like I did the front. I do have to lift it higher though, so swings and roundabouts. Win. Oh yeah. No clearance issues there, that'll be perfect. Probably don't need those. We don't have too many dangerous spiders here. A few brown recluse, which aren't awesome. A lot of black widows, which they're not too terrible. Everything else is pretty friendly. And I'm not saying I'd swap spit with any of them or anything, but could be a lot worse. Oh yeah, and we have those things that look like camel spiders. I ran over one of those with the excavator. Didn't kill it. So yeah, I'll leave those alone now. Right, so this is done. On to putting these ones onto that. This I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to see it with some normal tyres on. Stop turning. Another advantage of doing it this way is it won't fall off the jack. Might move around a little bit. Other than that, yeah, golden. So I don't know if any of you watched the video we did where we were going to do a will it start video on the case tractor over there, and we never got as far as that because we crashed the CJ crashed the tractor into the CJ is what we did, and it kind of messes up, and then the weather went terrible. Well, when I came out of there towing the tractor, I had it in two-wheel drive high, which is not smart if you're towing a tractor with a CJ, and I dug a big hole. Well, I was delayed a little bit there because I fell in it, so that will teach me. It goes without saying, you should never ever tighten lug nuts up with an impact. Undoing them's fine, don't tighten them. Not unless you've got some kind of torque control in it or using torque sticks. But don't just impact those things on. I am genuinely turning that one down on the torque. I'm finishing by hand. Have I missed any? I kind of feel like I've missed a few now. Because the wheel keeps turning. Yep, I missed that one. Smooth. Okay. Last wheel. A few more spider's eggs, which we're going to evict. That far out. Oh, you're just doing this to wind me up now. Have I got the only wheel that doesn't have studs on it? Okay. Forget this. Plan B. Look at that. Trained professional. You can tell I don't change tyres much. And you have probably noticed that we haven't got the whizzy camera angles today and the big camera. It's because Lexi is doing Lexi things, and I am on my own doing this today. So I am experimenting with one of those GoPro 13 things and seeing if that will work okay outside. Because you can't tell today, but we're coming into winter. It did snow here, it didn't stick, but it did snow here last week. So we could be under a few feet of snow fairly quick from here on in. So it'd be nice if this GoPro works for this kind of thing, because I don't like taking the really big camera out in extreme conditions, because it's a bit spendy. There we go. Done, done, done. Let's drop her down. Now to me, that is a massive, massive improvement. And I don't doubt, for every one person that agrees with me, there's going to be 10 that think I'm absolutely insane and I should have kept those big fat tyres on and I've ruined the look of the Jeep. But it's my Jeep and I don't care. I think this looks so much better. This, oh, it's such a change. Even with these old, dry, rotted, nasty tyres on here, that's just massive. And if you haven't checked out the playlist for this $100 GPW, there'll be a link coming up on the screen right now and you can see the other videos. And sometimes we do things that are even more exciting than changing tyres. But we've got engine teardowns, we've got pulling the old engine out, there was carnage inside that. So if you haven't checked out any of those yet, please do. Thank you so much for watching.